One day, I realized something shocking. I was teaching my kid to do the exact opposite of what I wanted. And here's the scary part, I didn't say a single word. Here's the thing, almost every parent I've met has asked the same question, what's the best way to raise my kids? And usually when we ask that, we're hoping for some secret formula, some kind of parenting hack, some magic shortcut that will make our kids speak earlier, eat better, study harder, be happier. But the truth, parenting is way simpler and way harder than we think. Because here's the reality, we cannot give our kids what we don't have, and we cannot teach them what we don't practice ourselves. Stick with me, stay here. Because this might just change the way you see parenting forever. Think about it. Kids don't just listen to what we say, they watch how we live. They don't just copy our words, they absorb our habits, our attitudes, our energy. If I want my child to grow up speaking well but I barely talk to them, how's that supposed to work? If I want my child to love learning, but all they ever see is me glued to my phone, what lesson am I teaching? If I want my child to be happy, but I walk around stressed and miserable all day, guess what they'll become? Children are mirrors. They reflect us back to ourselves, and that's both terrifying and beautiful. And here's the motif I want you to remember. What movie are you starring in that your child will replay for the rest of their life? Let's break this down with real life. You want your child to speak early, then talk with them every single day, not just baby talk, real conversation. Read books out loud even if they don't get it yet. Language is caught, not just taught. And kids who grow up surrounded by words grow up surrounded by confidence. You want your child not to be a picky eater. Expand your own plate first. Try new foods. Cook with variety. Let them see you enjoying it. Because kids don't eat broccoli because we lecture them. They eat it because they see us eating it. Picture this. You're at a family barbecue, hot dogs, chips, soda on one table, but you grab a plate with grilled veggies and salad. Your kid sees that, and without a word, they copy. You want your child to be polite. Start with yourself. Say please, say thank you, use complete sentences. Talk to the waiter, the cashier, your neighbor with respect. Because kids don't learn respect in theory class. They learn it in line at Target. You want your child to be tidy. Keep your own space clean. If your bed is made, your desk is clear, your shoes are put away. That's the silent lecture they'll remember. You want your child to love learning. Put down the phone, pick up a book, let them see you read. Better yet, make it a family ritual. Imagine every evening, 20 minutes where the house is quiet, just pages turning. That memory will outlast any lecture about grades. You want your child to be curious. Grab their hand, go outside, visit museums, explore parks, pause to watch ants build a hill. Curiosity is not taught with worksheets. It's caught when parents wonder out loud about the world. And the big one, you want your child to be happy, then learn to find joy yourself. Because kids don't just copy what we do, they absorb how we feel. If home feels heavy, they carry that weight. If home feels light, they carry that too. Now I know what you might be thinking, but I'm not perfect. I can't model everything right. I'm tired. I mess up. Of course, we all do. Parenting isn't about being flawless. It's about being intentional. The hard truth. If we want better for our kids, we first have to work on ourselves. We can't demand discipline if we live without discipline. We can't demand joy if we live in despair. We can't demand respect if we disrespect people right in front of them. That's not failure. That's a challenge, and it's an invitation. Parenting is the greatest self-development program in the world. It forces us to face our gaps, our weaknesses, and grow. And again, ask yourself, what movie am I starring in right now? Let me take you to one of my lowest moments as a parent. One evening, I lost my temper. I shouted at my kid over something small, toys on the floor, and then I saw it. His little face changed. He shouted back at his stuffed animal, the exact same way I shouted at him. It hit me like a punch in the chest. My worst habit, my impatience, was the movie he was copying. I froze. And in that silence, I felt guilty, ashamed, but also awake. Because I realized I still had a choice. I couldn't undo that moment, but I could choose a different movie from that night forward. That moment was a mirror. And sometimes the mirror hurts, but it also heals. This isn't just nice philosophy. Science backs it up. Psychologists talk about modeling behavior. It's why athletes visualize success. Basketball players imagine hitting the perfect shot and their brain wires for success before their body does. Same thing happens at home. When we model the behavior, we want our kids rehearse it in their minds. Neuroscience shows their brains light up when they see us happy, focused, respectful. Their mirror neurons fire. So when we laugh, we teach joy. When we focus, we teach discipline. When we care, we teach love. Here's the hopeful part. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. Show progress, not perfection. When you apologize after losing your temper, you're teaching humility. When you admit, hey, I don't know, let's figure it out together, you're teaching curiosity. When you laugh at your own mistakes, you're teaching resilience. Even your flaws, even your mistakes can become lessons. So here's my challenge. Next time you say, I wish my child was more polite, I wish my child loved learning, I wish my child wasn't messy, stop. Ask yourself, am I living that myself? If the answer is no, don't feel guilty. Just start small. 10 minutes of reading tonight, 1 new food at dinner, say please and thank you, pick up that laundry before asking them to pick up toys. Find 1 reason to smile today. Small habits build culture, and culture shapes kids. Picture a Saturday morning at a soccer game. Your child glances at you on the sidelines. If you're cheering with joy, that's the soundtrack they'll remember. If you're frowning into your phone, that's the memory too. Kids don't need grand speeches. They need daily snapshots. Snapshots of how life is lived, and those snapshots over years become the movie reel of childhood. And again, ask yourself, what movie am I starring in that my child will replay forever? Parenting doesn't begin with the child, it begins with us. If you want a child who speaks well, be that voice. If you want a child who studies and explores, model curiosity. If you want a child who respects, who thrives, embody those values first. Your child is watching every day, not to judge you, but to learn from you. And here's what's amazing. Kids don't need perfect parents. They need present parents. Parents who show up, parents who keep trying, parents who live the lessons they preach. So the next time you wonder, how do I raise my kids the right way? Remember this simple truth. Be what you want them to become. And never forget the motif. What movie are you starring in? If this hit home for you, take 1 small action tonight. And tomorrow do it again. Because raising kids isn't about perfection. It's about direction. And the best direction we can give them is the life we actually live. Thanks for listening. And hey, if this gave you something to think about, leave just 1 word in the comments, hope. Not a long paragraph, just hope. And share this with 1 parent who needs to hear it tonight. Because if enough of us share hope, maybe we can raise a generation that's not just smarter, but happier, kinder, and more alive.